I started to take on the practice of thanking the money coming in and going out both ways. And by doing that, I started appreciation habit. And since then, I've been so lucky. So I got a book deal in Japan and one from New York, which got me into internationally best-selling author. My book is out in 40 different countries. So I think appreciation plays an important role in happiness and money.
Hey Insider, we have a special interview episode for you today featuring Ken Honda, who is regarded as the most renowned and influential money teacher in Japan. He's also a best-selling author of self-development books in Japan, where he has sold millions of copies which have now been translated into 15 languages. Ken has spent most of his life committed to understanding humanity's relationship with money and how to leverage it to create a life of prosperity, peace, and happiness. During his research, he studied over 12,000 self-made millionaires, which in turn allowed him to discover the secrets of the world's richest, happiest, and most fulfilled people, which he will actually be sharing with you in today's interview. So be sure to pay close attention if you're wanting to discover the secret money mindset habits of the most successful and yet happiest individuals around the world. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy this special interview episode. So Ken, just want to say it's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you so much. This is my honor.
Definitely. Where I wanted to start this interview was with your backstory of what got you into this work, what motivated you to get involved with, changing people's lives and so forth.
To make a long story short, my father was a tax accountant, and he knew about money, so he started teaching me about money. But he lost himself after he witnessed his best friend committed family suicide because of money. So that's when I was fourth or fifth grade, or maybe younger. So since then, I started to have interest in money. My father went into depression after that incident. So I wanted to learn more about happiness and money. And that obsession got me to start reading all the books in the school library. And I started learn about money and happiness. And I became successful because of my father's teaching about money. When I was 29, I could retire financially with my baby girl. So we concentrated on child raising for 4 years. And during the 4 year of semi-retirement, I had this inspiration to write. And then I wrote a few pages of essay and I started giving them out to my friends. And my friends loved them. They wanted more and more. So I stapled them every day. And then later on, I asked a printer to print more copies. And people loved it. And I was so happy to give away my booklets. Actually, I have it with me here. Is the original booklet, physical copies. And I gave about 100,000 copies. A publisher called me and they asked me to write a book. And since then, it's sort of like a history in the publishing industry because I have published more than 200 books and sold about 8 million copies in a small island of Japan. So
that's awesome. That is incredible. So what were some of the key lessons you were taught back then that really helped?
So I have many mentors. One of them is Wahe Takeda, who's called Warren Buffett of Japan. And I realized that there are two kinds of wealthy people, very happy, wealthy ones, and not so happy ones. And I decided to become a student of happy millionaires instead of unhappy, grouchy millionaires. And I found out that all the people had something in common. That is, they did enjoy their work. They followed their heart, so they became successful by doing what they have. And also the other characteristics is that they really appreciate what they have in life, especially money. So they have a habit of thanking money coming in, and they also thank people when they pay. That was very interesting. So, and since then, I started to take on the practice of thanking the money coming in and going out both ways. And by doing that, I started appreciation habit. And since then, I've been so lucky. So I got a book deal in Japan and one from New York, which got me into internationally best-selling author. My book is out in 40 different countries. So I think appreciation plays an important role in happiness and money.
Mm. So you're saying when you let go and when you receive, you're thanking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we tend to complain about money when we receive it. And
Mm.
also, we don't want to let go of money when we have to pay for the bills and pay taxes. We hold on to the money. But instead, if we can say goodbye to money, like the best friend staying with you for a couple of days, you'd say, thank you, see you soon, very soon, come back soon. And hopefully you bring your friends. And if you say that to money, money can respond back to you. That's how I feel.
Right. So it's like having a gratitude when you're receiving, when you're letting go. I, s-
Yes.
I suppose what I'm wondering is if somebody's watching this right now and they are
Mhm.
struggling financially, how can a habit like this actually help them to accumulate more wealth?
I think probably getting out of a debt or getting out of this low-paying place is a number one priority. One of my students was a single mom secretary. She was always complaining about her low pay, but after learning about this thank you technique, she started thanking her boss. And she got so excited when she found out she was getting a raise from her boss, and then she got a big bonus. So her appreciation for the boss finally started paying off because she realized that she didn't have a college degree, but he hired her. So she had so many other reasons to appreciate him for the job. So once you start appreciating, your clients, your boss, and coworkers, customers, they respond the same way. One time I divided my clients into two categories. One, I'll do nothing. The other, I just keep bringing small gifts like books, tea, and like little sweets. And 6 months later, I was amazed that the second group, I always gave something to show my appreciation for the business. They gave me so many referrals. So if you start appreciating your clients, your customers, your family members, the appreciation you put out comes back. So I think that mental attitude is the first step to get out of this dark place. And once you get a job, you transfer your job to a better place where you get more rewarding, both emotionally and financially, you finally can get to breathe. And
Mm.
then please start thinking what you're good at. Because people who are using their skills and talents, they get paid more than the people who do the job they hate. So just find out if you like talking, you should talk more. If you like listening, you should listen more. And by listening more, your clients will buy more somehow, because they trust you. They love listeners. And if you're a great talker, then just keep talking more because that way you will get a raise. So if you want to cook, you should cook more. If you want to connect people, you should connect people more. By doing that, you get more appreciation from your bosses and clients and coworkers, and people, really will notice you.
Mm.
So that's how you get out of this low-paying job. And after that, next door will open up for you. So keep opening new doors. And it says the most exciting doors, usually scary, but when you open the doors, that is the right door for your new opportunities.
Right. So I know from your story you were exposed to some money wounds when you were younger.
Mm-hmm.
From your experience of having worked with literally tens of hundreds of thousands of people worldwide,
Mm-hmm.
what do you find is the most common money blocks or money wounds people tend to have that makes them struggle financially?
Tim, you just keep asking great questions. Thank you. So I think the most common one is low self-esteem. That means that since we had experienced this limitation, like I got denied by my parents that they are not going to buy a bike for me, because I was too small. So now you feel like you don't have the worth to get the bike or get a summer camp or whatever that is. So even before trying, you feel like, oh, probably they're not going to give it to me. This kind of feeling and belief limits you into a little box. And I guess you're teaching to people to get out of the box that way, right? But the reason why we got into the box is what happened in our past.
Right. So you find low self-esteem is one of the biggest money wounds.
Yes, and also we were so afraid when our parents used to fight. We just hide under the sheet or the bed until the storm goes away. So we somehow feel like money could be the source of all the trouble. So you need to have money for survival, but you don't want too much extra because that could be the cause of fights in your family members. So we tend to think like enough is okay, but like too much is bad because one of my students' parents used to say, you don't want to be kidnapped, right? So if your dad and mommy got money, you'll be kidnapped. You don't want that, right? So he was thinking like, oh, I wish I'd be rich enough to be kidnapped. is what he was saying. So we feel like more money equals trouble. That is also a deep subconscious belief that we tend to carry.
Okay. Where can somebody start to reprogram their mind to really let go of these money wounds?
Yeah, there are two things. One, you can start healing your past money wounds, thinking back your like 10, 15, 20 years ago when your mom and dad they were younger, you're probably like 5 or 6. What happened? Like for me, I was denied of for a bike for my birthday present. And they had the money, but they were just thinking that maybe too much for a young boy because our house stood on the top of the hill. That could be a little dangerous, for the bike ride. So now I understand, but at the time I thought I was just denied because I was not capable. I was not worth it. And when I go back to the picture, I just hold on to the little boy and say, no, you're worth something. But that, your parents are thinking, worrying that you could get a cut or this you could hurt yourself. So it's nothing to do with your worth. And if you just see the whole picture, your parents may be struggling with money. They couldn't find the right job, or just money was tight. So if you could understand them as they are, maybe that will be the start of your healing process. And the second one I would suggest is hang around with the people without money blocks. There are people who have a very healthy attitude toward money. They enjoy money, but they're not abusing money. So when you are hanging out with those people without any money blocks, that's so liberating. They buy what they want to buy, and then not too abusive. So if you hang around with those people, like my mentor Wahe, he used to carry gold coins in his pocket. So whenever he sees a beautiful smile, he gives a solid gold coin to a waiting person, to say, you have the best smile in the world. Keep smiling. And he gives out like $1,000 gold coin. Wow. So if you're around those people, like, oh, money comes and goes very easy and smooth. So if you experience something like that, your belief about money shifts.
Okay. So you mentioned people who've got healthy belief with money who aren't abusive with it. What do you mean by abusive?
Okay, so for example, there are people who just cannot stop buying things. They keep shopping, and they don't even open boxes after they buy expensive things like all the luxurious brands. So they find so much joy in buying something, so to feel control. Or they cannot stop making money. I just call it money addict. There are some money personality types. So if your money personality type is a gambler or a money addict, you keep just making money. So I see them a lot among entrepreneurs and like hedge fund managers. 1 million is not enough, and then they try to go for 2 millions, and then 10 millions, and then 100 millions. There's not enough for them. So they're just thinking that they're just playing the money game, but they're just, in fact, they're sucked into this dark place. It's called money hell.
Mm. Okay, so people who are chasing it, coming from scarcity, place from lack, sort of thing.
Exactly. So no matter how much they make, they feel small.
Yeah.
One of my clients had a private jet, and he said he always feels so small when his car pulls over to this special gate for private jets, because his private jets is the smallest. All the other jets are so big. Like some of them are jumbo, and his private jet seats only 6 people. So he feels like I'm such a small guy compared to these guys with that they have beds and grand pianos in the plane. Like I have to squeeze myself into the plane. So if you and then he's making so much money by anybody's standard. So if you're feeling like you're small still in a big boat or luxurious places, you cannot really enjoy. One time I heard about a man who just bought a very expensive yacht. And then on the boat, you know what he was reading? He was reading a magazine for luxurious boats. And then he's looking for the next boat. You should enjoy while you're on the boat. But, a money addict and abusers, they tend to go act like that.
Okay. So with all that experience you've had now, what
Mhm.
would you say are some of the most healthy money beliefs one could carry?
So I always introduce this idea of money container, that I believe everybody was born with a certain container. Some people are destined to be very, very successful, like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, and those entrepreneurs or mega tycoon people. They're born that way. I'm sure they worked very hard, but not everybody can be like that. So, and you have to know your right container size. If you try to grow your money container too fast, too quick, you're going to crack it. So you have to grow your money container slowly. Otherwise, I'm just advising to a lot of young entrepreneurs that they're going to crack their life. And because too much money is like flood. I always use analogy of money as water. Too much money causes flood. Too little money causes drought. Either way, not healthy. So you have to have the right amount. So to do that, you have to appreciate what you have. That is the first key. And then if your money container grows bigger, you will probably make more money, spend more money. But if you're not destined to do that, don't try to be somebody who is not supposed to be you. There are certain like world that you need to live in. So I think to be happy, you have to find who you are first. And so you don't have to be another billionaire to be happy. Doing what you love and appreciating your life at the moment is the key, but just not pursuing more money or bigger sales.
Okay. Is there a way somebody can quickly know the size of their money container?
Yes, that's also a very common question. I mean, you keep asking great questions. Thank you, Tim. For example, just imagine your income right now, right? And make it 5 times or 10 times. Let's say if you're just making 5,000 euros a month, just imagine that you're making 3 times as much. So you feel, of course, great. But think about your expenses also 3 times more. That means you have about 4,000 or 5,000 euros. Instead, you're going to have 15,000 euros a month for like your rent or mortgage or something, right? And if you feel like, ooh, like a little tight, that's like the maximum of your money container. So people cannot feel so comfortable when you're just making like 4 or 5 times more. So probably twice as much is a good amount. So you should grow your money container slowly.
Okay.
Yes.
So with this money container,
Mm-hmm.
is it fixed or can somebody upgrade their money container to make it bigger?
Yes, yes. Yeah, by the way, that's often how Europeans and American people ask me. In Japan, people ask me from different angle. They say, "How can I satisfy myself with the present container?" So it's like like going more and growing more. It's also an addiction too.
Mm.
But to answer your question, if you truly enjoy who you are at the moment, it's going to grow. So instead of saying like, I'm not enough, so I have to get more. And then if you reach a bigger money container, I have to get more. Instead, I'm so happy with where I am, but I'm sharing what I have. And then people start giving me back more. And so my container is naturally bigger. And with this naturally bigger container, I can graciously give away more, and then I receive back. So if the process is organic, it's great. But think about it: if you just use medicine like a steroid, if you're an athlete, to just give you a boost to go bigger, 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 you're going to crack your money container. So as long as it's organic growth, I think it's good.
Okay. So if it's organic, it's going to feel more natural and is it going to expand the money container if it's organic, or does it still remain fixed?
For some people, and also something to do with their age, like Tim, you're just going to grow and grow, grow, right, for the next 20, 30 years. But I'm 54 now. So like I'm sort of over the top. I'm sort of like preparing for this senior age in a sense, right? So of course I can go bigger, but my energy and my metabolism is a lot slower than I was in my 30s and 40s, right? And so if you're hit 60s, some people grow, but physically, you're just sort of like going toward the end of your life. So you don't have to expand so much, and you don't eat as much, and so you could probably satisfy yourself with less and less. So you have to know when is your peak and how much is enough, and how you want to end your life. Otherwise, a lot of younger entrepreneurs tend to think like, I grow this way, this way, this way, and then die at the top. Life doesn't go that way. Usually, you hit the high in your 40s or 50s, could be 60s, but then you gradually kind of slow down, right?
Yeah.
So you have to know how you want to grow your business, how you want to manage your life. Otherwise, you are living in the illusion that I'll grow and grow and grow. So it's more of a Zen attitude, but you have to find satisfaction in less.
Okay. Makes sense. So yourself, in terms of a belief, what do you have as a belief in terms of money? What does money mean to you?
To me, it's almost like an angel, angel friend. He or she can do wonders. Because the other day, I just offer a place online. I'm just making. I'm writing a book, or sometimes 2 books a month. So I'm sometimes I use writers, the other writers to help me write certain chapters. So I said, whoever wants to join me, how I want to write my books and how I channel my books, because I speak nonstop for 2 hours, and then he transcribes what I said. She is going to do that, and then the book comes out. So people are interested in the process, right? So whoever wants to see, donate a little money to be a witness in my online program. And about 200 people showed up, and then we just raised 10,000 US dollars for the Cambodian orphanage. And so like money comes out of nowhere, and it's not my money, but with my energy, with my support, that much money is buying all the water system and all the, sanitary things, and also fruits and food and all the supplies that they need. So when I want money to be there, the money kind of appears. So I don't really care if I'm getting paid or not. Like, I'm not getting paid with this interview, but I enjoy as much as I do my online seminars. For me, it's the same thing, because it's a joy of sharing what I know. So I share myself 100% all the time in a form of writing. Now I'm talking, and this is a fun way of meeting new people, right? So I enjoy every second of it. So by doing that, sometimes I get money from that companies or a publisher directly. Sometimes I don't. But with other investments and other things, I earned much more than I spend. So I have an excess of money, right? Like three of us can live in a small amount of money. So I can feed hundreds of family with my income. So I'm so happy to share what I have and what I know with other people. So the more I do, somehow more money I receive. So this is almost like a fun snowball battle. Like I give out, my money, and then I get more. So like I'm just playing with money by helping. So by helping more, somehow the more comes back in terms of book sales or online seminars. I attract thousands of people, and they pay a lot of money for that. So I receive it well and appreciate the money coming in, because people trust me enough that I'll just use the money wisely for other people. So for me, money is energy of love. And so I receive love, I share love, and then loves come back. So it's so much fun to deal with money in my life.
Right. So you said it's like an energy of love. So do you ever think about money when you're working, or is it more you're radiating love?
So I used to think like writing is a tough work, but now it's almost like taking a walk or like brushing my teeth. So it's a part of my routine in everyday life. I have a computer in my car, in my in houses. So wherever I go, I can type in 2 seconds. All the computers are synced to my cloud. So whatever I write will be stored right away. So I keep writing all the time. I keep speaking all the time, and this is my passion. This is my love. So it's a little bit hard to explain, because for some people, work is from 9 to like certain time.
Yeah.
But Tim, what I'm talking about, if you're just passionately teaching classes for 5 days, you wish there will be like 2 more days, right?
For sure. That makes
Yeah.
sense. So you are doing what you love. So
Mm-hmm.
it just naturally, you just radiate love, basically.
Yeah, it's so much fun. So I'm so curious how my students are going to grow.
Yeah.
I have impacted millions of people for the past 2 decades. So I often eat out at the restaurant, and then people approach me saying, you must be Ken Honda, right? I read your book 15 years ago, and unless somebody stops him or her, they keep talking for 5 minutes, and how I changed their life. So not all the time, but I just enjoy their sharing, because I know I impacted them in a deep way. So their life is transformed now into a peaceful one. So they're having a better relationship in the family, and with friends, and especially they have a better relationship with themselves, which is very important. So the more we can do it, the more peace we find in our community, and so hopefully globally. That's why I'm just doing this interview and doing activities in English. So it's my hope that more happy money will spread out, and then people don't have to pay anything, right? Just appreciate your money, appreciate your life. By doing that, I think we can be more generous with each other.
Okay. What advice would you give to somebody who's hearing you right now, thinking, you know, it's good for Ken because he has got abundance of money, but
Yes.
I've got nothing right now. How
Mhm.
can I feel like Ken when I've got nothing and I feel like I'm broke? What advice would you give to this person?
Yes. So I think you're just focusing on too much visible assets. I often talk about invisible assets.
Okay.
That could be your youth, your energy, and also your friends and your ideas and your heart. We just unfortunately we value how much money you have in your bank account or how you own things. But in life, there are so many invisible assets that you can count on. So instead of having so much money in your bank account, if you have 10 good friends who just let you stay for a week or so, you can keep on living. The other day I wrote down how many friends I have, and then I realized I have more than 50 friends who can just feed me for a week. So you just keep visiting your friend every week until the next year comes. So you can live off of your friendship for a year. That's financial independence. So you may think you're broke financially, but you may have other different assets. So start counting what you have. If you have a roof over your head, that's a great luxury. Like top 30 or 40% or that people have a hot running water and electricity. Not all of us have the luxury on this planet right now. So if you start counting that you have probably more than enough for survival, then this appreciation kicks in. So the more you appreciate about life, the more it grows. So whatever you appreciate appreciates. So even though you start out from nothing, you must have heard a story that self-made millionaires. They started from a far worse situation than you are. So anybody can do it. And the first step is the curiosity. Somebody like me, do you think I'll be an abundant person in the future? If that is the case, what is my next step? And then start asking many good questions like, Tim, you've been asking great questions. So you should ask your right questions. How can I start my new life today? What are the steps? What can I do to change my life or turn my life around? And if you keep asking those questions, new answers will start popping in. And then your life will be transformed in a couple of years. And after that, it's relatively easy. Once you get out of this dark place, you will probably start believing yourself more, and you have more support from other people. By receiving more support, you'll be more confident, you'll be happier, and then you can see a brighter future. So maybe you're at the bottom of your life, but that doesn't mean you stay at the bottom for the rest of your life. So trust me and just Google somebody's life. There are so many people who start from zero or minus, and that they end up being very happy and abundant. And I hope you'll be the next one.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Find that spark of inspiration as well as that source of abundance in a way.
Yes. So just please find the right one for you, because they're exactly somebody who's sort of like started out from your place, and then slowly found her or his way from there to just where they are now. So I'm sure you may be having a hard time, but it's a temporary thing. It's not going to last forever. So just trust that something is going to shift. And I have seen it so many times. So just I have great hopes for you.
Okay. Why do you believe some people are able to experience faster financial abundance flowing their way compared to some who maybe might not experience it? Why do some people experience that?
That's also another great question, Tim, because we're driven by how we think and how we feel and how we act. And some people are just these three of them are just can go together. Like when they think smoking is bad up here and here, and also, okay, I'll quit today. Some people can do that as fast as in 2 seconds. But other people think, I know I should go on a diet. I think I should get up early. I should be on the right diet. And you feel like, but I love potato chips. I love fish and chips, whatever that is, right? And then you don't act at all. So if the combination of how you think and how you feel and how you act are just like on the right combination, you keep going. But if one is go, the other is break. It's kind of like go and stop. So I think you have to sort out these three: how you think, how you feel, and how you act has to be the same.
So they need to check in and check to see, am I thinking right? Am I acting right? Am I feeling right? And it's got to be aligned.
Yes, exactly. So most of us feel like even though we know we have to do this, but I'm sure all of us, I have experienced the same thing. You have to break up with her or break up with him, or I have to leave the job, but you can't because you're too afraid. So it may take a little while for the fear to go away, or you jump over anyway. So it takes some time and courage, and so I'm not blaming you to do it right away. And it's natural for us to stop. So just I hope you forgive yourself for not being able to just act in 2 seconds.
Okay. So our listeners are big fan of like habits, like morning habits and evening habits. Do you have any good recommendation for any good habits that they can do to strengthen their money mindset?
So in the morning, I always imagine what kinds of fun things are on their way. So I always think it's almost like this FedEx person, the delivery man is delivering happiness and fun things, and he's driving to my place. So I always envision happy Christmas gifts on me, and. So I don't know what kind of gift I'm gonna get. So I get excited. So that's how I start my day. And during the day, I try to enjoy every second of it. I enjoy writing today. I had a fun interview. I had so much fun at the clubhouse. I'm going to be interviewed by somebody on Iceland in Europe. So today is a Europe day somehow. So I can't wait to see her or him. And so during the day, I'm excited. And then at the end of the day, I count all the fun things that happened on that day. Like Tim Han, what a great man. I can't believe he's so young and he's so accomplished right now. 10 years. Wow, how high he's going to fly. So I just bless him and all the fun questions you ask. And then, one by one, and I cannot usually make it to the end because I just fall asleep in the middle of the day, by just counting how much fun, and I just keep sending them blessings. So if you make it a habit, you feel much, much happier because your attitude is more toward counting your blessings than counting shortcomings. Because life is half and half. If you just start counting all the shortcomings, there are a lot. And if you just find happy memories, you can count a lot too.
Yeah, makes sense. You mentioned earlier when we were talking about the money container that Americans and English people ask you different question compared to
Yes.
Japanese. So I was wondering, since you have reached out to millions of people, have you seen that there are common culture money wounds in different countries, or is it more their upbringing that impacts money wounds?
Yes. So I don't want to go too much into politics, but for example, Japan has a pretty good safety net. Even if you lose your job, medical bills are free, and then you get enough money, monthly payment. You get like 1,400 euros, so enough to live by. So you can sort of like fall back on, you can go to a dentist or doctor for free if you just, lose everything. But somewhere like in North America, like United States, the socially, you don't have the right safety net. And also family-wise, like country like Mexico, or Korea, they have a very strong family. By the way, that's why I love Korea and Mexico about that. Family first. So even though the government is not helping you as much, you're safe because somebody will help you. That's a good feeling. So that's something it's harder to find in the Western world because more individualistic, and some governments are not interested in supporting people as much. So it's a political system, and also the feeling in the society that a certain crime rate, when it's higher, you have a hard time trusting people. So that's also eating up, your happiness. It's almost like the wave is eating up a fun sand castle that you built. So anthropologically and also politically, it's so interesting to see how people react to money. But overall, we live in a place of scarcity. So I hope in like 30 years we'll be out of the scarcity mentality.
Yeah, for sure. So in the Western world, is there like a money block that you see the most common in Western countries?
Yes, I think more is such a great religion. More,
More.
bigger, better. So like the more is better, so the growth is good. So if you're addicted to growing more, faster, I think this capitalism is a sort of like a symbol. I'm not a socialist, but if you just try to grow, 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 we're gonna eat up all the resources. For example, if India and China are growing to the level of America, we're going to need 5 more planets like ours. So we have to start learning how to satisfy ourselves with less. But at this point, we cannot do that. We keep building more buildings. We keep, just creating more things. And a lot of boats are going back and forth. I was a little confused because a few days ago, I had a dinner, like salmon, it comes from Norway, and this certain vegetables from China. We can grow our veggie over there. Maybe we should fish in the river nearby, right? So there's so much waste, but because of economics and cutting costs and all that, we are contaminating the world, and we have to wake up to a new level of way of living. And I think it's happening right now as this capitalism is collapsing. It's so interesting. I think a new world is on its way, that people will treat each other with respect and fairness. And I hope it's going to come soon, because what's going on between the industrialized country and the third world developing countries are very sad for me.
Yeah. So addicted to more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely can see that out here. I was culturally conditioned in Western world. So are you suggesting we begin to settle in a way with less, or are you suggesting something else?
I'm not suggesting not much. More of I think if we could satisfy ourselves with what we are, and we might grow or we might downsize, it's up to you. But not everybody has to grow, grow, grow. So grow your income, like triple your income, or you can downgrade your lifestyle. That's why I was saying, like, I haven't met many people who'd say, next year I'll make sure that I make less money so I have more time. Instead, a lot of people say, next year I'm going to grow my business to like 200%, and then wow, right? So just imagine, for just fun of it, I make half the money next year and see if I can stay happy. So if you can just shift your mental attitude, it could be fun. And then you realize that you may not need so much money after all. And in fact, people are doing more work and more time consumed by work-related activities. Europe is not as bad as America, but after just spending 4 years for my family, I realized that we are addicted to work. And mostly it's financial needs, but also socially, we are addicted to working so hard. So hopefully in the next 20, 30 years, we'll be free from work and spend more time in more creative activities like art and music and all the other things. I think we're too focused on business.
Is there like a tip you could give us that would help us to be more happy with less?
I think find joy in how should I say? If you can just waste your time, waste your money in the little things that doesn't work financially, that's fun. Like a friend of mine is collecting soda cans, the soda cans that people just drink it and then left over. He loves collecting those. And it's not producing any money, right? To me personally, it's a piece of garbage, but he collects all the cans from Europe, like Africa and China, and he built a museum actually out of that.
Wow.
See, yeah. So like hobbies, you don't think about the cost effectiveness, right? So all the fun things are actually not cost effective. But in the business world, we are just focusing on cost cutting and productivity, efficiency. But when you come to think of your personal life, say if you're cooking with your family, with your kids, it may take 3 hours for the pasta, and it doesn't look good and it doesn't taste good, right? You should hire a chef for the better food, right? If you have money. But do you want to do that? Or do you want to cook, terrible, very bad shaped pasta and then ravioli, right? And then eat together and laugh. Oh, this doesn't taste so good. It's too salty, or the shape isn't right. But it's so much fun. So if you can forget about the productivity, efficiency, certain time of the day, you can find more happiness. So don't focus on business and life out of proficiency or efficiency, because you're going to lose what's so much fun. A lot of people try to save money for investing more, but for what? Saving for the future is good, but if you do it too much, you're going to lose the joy that you could potentially have, because money is there for your enjoyment. So please don't get it wrong. If you just think of it as too much security, you're going to lose all the fun right now. And don't save it till you retire. So
Yeah,
have fun now.
I can relate to what you're saying. I mean, I've been brought up with saving all my life. So is there like a percentage amount you recommend for us to spend, or is it more just let go?
Yes, some people love numbers, so you should come up with the numbers. But the funny thing is, the more income, the higher income you have, you don't have to have the numbers. So like, don't corner yourself into productivity and also numbers, because life can be so much fun. So if you forget about the numbers, and if you feel the call, I want to buy this, buy it, and then you just figure out later. And sometimes you have to be outrageous, because all the outrageous things could be a fun memory when you grow old, when you hit your 70s. All the fun memories you had is like the stupid mistakes. Why did I buy that? Why did I marry her? And those like stupid things that wasn't logical at the time became such a fun memory. So don't try to do it right, do it smart, because all the smart decisions add up to a boring life. Maybe you have enough financial security, but so what? If you're enjoying your life, and if you have a bunch of friends, like say I have no financial worries, because I don't have any debt. But if I lose everything, still I'm okay because I have so many happy friends who are going to make sure I'm not going to fall if I lose everything. So I trust my friends more than anything, so I can keep on focusing on giving. So if you can just focus on what you want to do instead of security, your life will be 100 times more fulfilling. So don't try to save money out of security or just out of fear. As long as you enjoy and just keep sharing and giving, people will help you when you're in need. So, and I hope you have more trust in your life, so you don't have to worry about anything in your life.
Yeah, love it. This is very powerful. Ken, I really appreciate you coming on and sharing with us your wisdom throughout all these
Thank
years.
you.
If you were to just leave us with like one final message you want all of us to remember from the last 60 minutes, what would that final message be?
Don't worry, there will be always a door for you. So if you try to open the door, wrong doors, it won't open. But if you find the right door, it'll open. It's open for you. So don't worry, be happy, and just follow your heart, and people will help you. And so trust life.